The Invincible universe doesn't hold back. Heroes don't always win, and some deaths hit like a punch to the gut. From betrayal to sacrifice, there are moments that changed everything. The Immortal lived longer than almost anyone, seen in Invincible number 54. He was called the Immortal because he could not die naturally. He didn't age, he didn't get sick. Even if he was badly hurt, his body healed. Sounds like a superpower, right? At first it was. The Immortal fought in wars. He was a hero. He worked with other heroes to protect Earth, but time kept moving. His friends grew old and passed away. His teammates died. Even people he loved disappeared one by one. But he kept living. In one future, all the other powerful leaders were gone. So the Immortal became the ruler of Earth. He didn't take over with violence. He wanted to protect the planet. He believed he was the best person for the job. And for a while, he was. But decades passed, then centuries. Soon, the Immortal had no one. No friends, no wife, no family. Just him running the world alone. Every day felt the same. No one could understand what he was going through. He was tired, not just in body, but in spirit. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. He asked Mark, also known as Invincible, for one final favor: to end his life. But not just that, he wanted his body torn apart and scattered so he could never come back. That's how deeply broken he felt. Mark doesn't want to do it, but the Immortal begs him. And in a single moment, Mark ends the life of the man who had lived longer than any other. Anissa was a powerful Viltrumite. Like the others from her race, she believed strength was more important than kindness. She believed people should be forced to follow orders if it helped the Viltrumite Empire grow stronger. One of her worst moments was when she forced Mark to have a child with her without his permission. It was a dark, horrible moment that could never truly be forgiven. But after that, something changed in her. Anissa began to live on Earth. She started to understand how humans lived. She saw the love they had for each other, the kindness in families, and the importance of free will. Over time, Anissa felt regret. She couldn't take back what she had done, but she wanted to do something good before she died. This happens in Invincible number 139. During a huge battle with alien monsters called Ragnars, one of the creatures went after Adam Eve. Eve was hurt and had no time to react. Anissa saw this and acted fast. She threw herself in front of Eve, taking the full force of the attack. The damage was terrible. Her body was crushed. She bled heavily. As she lay dying, she didn't scream. She didn't ask for help. She just looked at Eve and knew this time she had done something right. Anissa never got to say sorry to Mark, but her final act was one of sacrifice. In the end, she tried to change. She died protecting someone else. Ceil Steedman was not a superhero. He was a man in charge, a smart, serious government agent who worked in the shadows. He didn't wear a cape, but he protected Earth in his own way. Ceil made hard choices. He worked with dangerous people when he had to. He didn't see the world in black and white. To him, safety was more important than being good. But Robot didn't agree with him. Robot wanted to rule the world and control everything, and he knew Ceil wouldn't go along with it. So, Robot didn't argue. He didn't talk. He acted. In a cold, brutal scene, you can read it in Invincible number 111. Robot snuck into Cecil's office. Before Ceil could even turn around, Robot grabbed him. He sliced his throat and crushed his head with a machine arm. It was fast, it was quiet, and it was final. There was no big goodbye. No time for Ceil to fight back. He was one of the few people who might have stopped Robot's plan, but he never got the chance. Ceil died trying to keep the world safe, even if his way of doing it wasn't perfect. Shapesmith looked strange. His skin was red, his body was flexible, and his way of speaking was odd. But he was kind. He believed in helping others, even if he didn't always understand how humans worked. He followed the Immortal. He believed in doing the right thing. When Robot started taking control of Earth, featured in Invincible number 112, Shapesmith didn't like it. He said no. He stood up against Robot's plan, and for that, he paid the price. Robot attacked Shapesmith with powerful weapons. He tore into Shapesmith's alien body, breaking his form. Shapesmith collapsed to the ground, bleeding out. His limbs were twisted. His body, once soft and flexible, now frozen in pain. As he lay there, he looked around, confused and heartbroken. He had trusted Robot. He had seen him as a friend, and now that friend had left him to die. Shapesmith's final words were full of sadness. Why? There was no answer, only silence. Mark and Eve had been through so much: fights, wars, losses, but finally they found peace. They built a home. They had a daughter named Tara, and they stepped away from superhero life. But evil doesn't knock. Thrag, the most dangerous Viltrumite, returned. He brought his powerful children with him. They didn't want peace. They wanted blood. The attack was fast and violent. Their home exploded in fire. Mark and Eve tried to protect Tara, but they were outnumbered. Eve used her powers to create weapons, shields, anything to protect her family. Mark fought with all his strength, but it wasn't enough. This event happens in Invincible number 132. Thrag broke Mark's bones. Eve was struck from behind. In front of their young daughter, both of them fell, bloody, broken, and dead. Tara screamed. She was just a little girl, and now her world had ended. But there was a small miracle. Adam Eve's powers allowed her to rebuild molecules, even her own body. She used the last of her energy to bring herself back, and then Mark. They came back to life. Oliver was Mark's younger half-brother. He had purple skin, wings, and grew up fast because of his alien blood. As a kid, he was playful. As a teen, he got serious. He wanted to prove himself. For a time, time, Oliver worked for Thrag. He thought Thrag could help bring order, but he was wrong. When Thrag attacked Mark and Eve, Oliver saw the truth. You can find this in Invincible number 132. Thrag didn't care about peace. He wanted power, and he was willing to kill even children to get it. So Oliver made a choice. He flew into battle. He fought Thrag's children. He blocked an attack meant for little Tara. The blow crushed his chest. Blood poured from his mouth. But he didn't fall right away. He turned to Tara, smiled through the pain, and whispered, "You're safe now." Then he collapsed. Oliver had made mistakes, but in the end, he died a hero. Rex Splode had a tough past. He was loud, arrogant, and often made bad choices. But deep down, he wanted to do the right thing. Over time, Rex changed. He became more responsible. He stopped acting like a jerk and started thinking about others. Featured in Invincible number 60 during the Invincible War, evil versions of Mark from other universes invaded Earth. One of them injured Rex badly, but Rex had one last plan. He used his powers to explode his own body, taking out the evil Invincible who hurt him. He died a hero, saving others at the cost of his own life. Last, we come to Omniman, Mark's father. At the beginning of Invincible, Omniman is Earth's greatest hero, but then the truth comes out. He's a Viltrumite sent to conquer Earth. He turns against humanity and even fights his own son. But over time, something changes in him. He realizes he loves his family more than his mission. He turns against the Viltrum Empire and becomes a force for good. He eventually becomes the emperor of the Viltrumites. He teaches them to be kinder, more human. But one act of kindness ends up costing him everything. He lets Thrag live, hoping that mercy will change him. It doesn't. Thrag returns and brutally kills Omniman, ripping him apart. This happens in Invincible number 141. Omniman dies from his injuries, but not before saying goodbye to his son. In that moment, he's not a warrior or emperor. He's just a father trying to make peace. Some tried to fix their mistakes. Some gave up everything to protect others. And some died because they believed in a better world. That's what makes their deaths so meaningful.